Okay, so you're thinking about studying abroad.
Yeah.
Specifically Canada, right?
Yeah.
We want to dive deep into that today.
Awesome.
We've got this recent analysis we're looking at,
Okay.
all about how attractive Canada is for international students,
Mm-hmm.
but looking ahead to 2025,
All right.
and with everything that's been changing,
Yeah.
the big question we're going to try to answer for you is Canada still the right choice?
That's a good question.
It is a good question.
Yeah.
Because there are definitely some hurdles that have come up.
Yeah, definitely some things to think about.
Yeah.
But despite that, Canada is still a huge magnet for international students.
Yeah, that's true.
So let's start there.
Yeah, why is that?
Well, first of all, I think we got to mention the universities. These big name universities that everyone's heard of.
Yeah, University of Toronto.
McGill.
Yeah, McGill.
Yeah.
UBC.
Yeah. Those are the ones that everyone wants to go to.
Yeah.
But they're consistently ranked super high globally.
Yeah, so what does that actually mean, though?
Well, it means a lot.
Okay.
Because those rankings come from,
Mm-hmm.
Very rigorous standards.
Okay.
So the education you get there, employers all over the world know that they recognize it.
Oh, that's great.
And that makes it a super valuable thing to have on your resume.
That's good to know.
Especially in this job market we have.
Yeah, it's really competitive these days.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then there's that thing everybody's heard of,
What's that?
the PGWP,
Oh, yeah, the post-graduation work permit.
the post-graduation work permit.
That's the one.
Yes.
So that lets you gain work experience.
Yes. In Canada.
In Canada.
After you graduate.
After you graduate.
And that's huge.
Is huge.
But
Yeah.
I've heard it's not just a free-for-all anymore.
What do you mean?
Well, it still exists,
Okay.
but the length of time that you get to work
Okay.
depends on the length of your program.
Oh, that makes sense.
It does.
Yeah.
And it's especially good for certain fields.
Like what?
Like if you're going into tech
Okay.
or healthcare,
Oh, yeah.
anything where there's like a skills shortage.
I see.
But that work experience that you can get through the PGWP, it's not just about making your resume look good.
Right.
This is about potentially building a life in Canada.
Yeah, because it can help you get permanent residency,
Exactly.
which is awesome.
And that ties into what Canada's known for, being diverse
Yeah.
and inclusive.
Yeah. Everybody's welcome.
Yeah, and that's a big draw
It is a big draw.
for a lot of international students.
Yeah.
But,
Oh,
you
yeah.
got to remember it's a big country.
Yeah.
And experiences can vary
Okay.
depending on where you end up.
Yeah.
Like the big cities,
Yeah.
Toronto, Vancouver, they're melting pots.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you go to a smaller town,
Yeah.
it might be a totally different cultural landscape.
So do your research.
Do your research.
Yeah.
Know before you go.
Yeah. Okay, so we've covered all the good stuff.
The good stuff.
The good stuff.
Yeah.
But what about the stuff that's not so good?
Well,
Our source mentions some changes
oh yeah,
that make things a bit more challenging.
definitely.
So what's the biggest one?
In early 2024,
Okay.
Canada started doing these study permit caps.
Study permit caps.
Yeah, for some programs
Okay.
and some institutions.
So what does that mean?
Well, it's kind of like,
Yeah.
imagine trying to get tickets
Well,
to a concert that's sold out. It's just gotten way more competitive
oh, wow.
to get one of those spots.
That's a tough break.
It is.
But even if you do manage to get a spot,
Yeah.
can you afford to actually live in Canada?
That's a really good question.
Because the cost of living,
Oh, yeah.
especially in those big cities,
It's no joke.
it's no joke at all.
It's expensive.
It's expensive.
and it's getting worse.
Like how?
Well,
Yeah.
tuition fees are going up.
Okay.
Rent
Mm-hmm.
is sky high.
Especially in places like Vancouver.
Oh, especially in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Like if you want to live near UBC,
Okay. Yeah.
in 2024, the average rent
Mm-hmm.
for just a one bedroom
Uh-oh.
was like $2,800 a month.
Whoa.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of money.
That's more than some people's salaries.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So scholarships, family
Yes,
support, those
yeah.
are going to be super important.
More important than ever.
More important than ever.
Yeah.
So are there any other ways that students are making this work?
Well, a lot of them are turning to shared housing.
Oh, yeah.
Living with roommates.
Roommates.
Yeah, like 3 or 4 sometimes,
Oh,
just to split those costs.
yeah.
And some of them are living further away from campus,
Oh, okay.
where the rent might be a little lower.
Oh, that makes sense.
But then you've got the transportation costs.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like a balancing act.
Yeah, constantly weighing everything.
Exactly.
And speaking of balancing,
Yeah.
the government is reviewing something,
Oh, what's that?
those off-campus work hour policies.
Oh, right, for international students.
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
Well, right now,
Yeah?
students are allowed to work 20 hours
Okay.
off campus while they're studying. But if they change that,
Yeah.
it could be a real problem for students who are relying on that income,
Yeah, to cover those living expenses.
especially with the rising costs we've been talking about.
So it's kind of a waiting game.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens.
Okay. So we've covered a lot.
Yeah.
We've talked about the good
The good,
and the bad.
bad.
So is studying in Canada still worth it?
I think that's a question you have to answer for yourself.
Yeah.
Canada still has amazing education,
Yeah.
and it's a great place to potentially build a future,
Yeah.
but you have to be more prepared,
Okay.
more financially prepared than ever before.
So do your research.
Do your research.
Yeah.
Know how much the program costs.
Are there scholarships available?
Yeah.
And what are those living expenses actually going to be like?
In the city you're going to.
Exactly.
So it's not about giving up on Canada.
yeah.
It's just about being realistic
Being realistic.
Yeah.
And being smart about it.
and maybe having some backup options.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like
well,
it.
Australia's got some great programs.
Yeah.
The UK, Germany.
Germany's really popular.
Yeah, and Germany's great.
Yeah.
Because a lot of their universities are tuition free.
Wow.
That could be a huge financial advantage.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
So it's all about finding the right fit.
the right fit for you.
Yeah, exactly. But with all these new challenges,
Mm-hmm.
it makes me wonder how it's going to change the student experience.
Oh, that's an interesting question.
Yeah, like, are students going to have to be more resourceful?
Hmm.
Are they going to be more globally connected?
Yeah.
Are they going to have to be even more driven to succeed?
Yeah, it's definitely more complex.
Yeah.
Than it used to be.
It is, but challenges can lead to innovation.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
They can make you more resilient.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, keep researching.
Keep researching.
Weigh your options.
Weigh your options.
And remember, studying abroad is an investment in your future.
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
So think about it carefully.
Think about it carefully.
All right, thanks for joining us
Thanks for having me.
on this deep dive into studying in Canada.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
See you next time.